That's the bad news. Here's the good news. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some good news and we have some bad news. We have a resignation from the Conservative Party. Let's take a look. For immediate release, June 17th, 2026, Kathy Wagenthal, Member of Parliament for Yorkton Melville, announces she is stepping down as of August 31st, 2026. Quote, although my intent when I first announced my plans to step down as a Member of Parliament for Yorkton Melville was to continue to represent the wonderful people of Yorkton Melville until the next federal election is called, I have decided to take my leave as of August 31st, 2026. I have been blessed to have great people who have served alongside me through 4 election cycles. I watch as my 2026 Board of Directors established the local Conservative nominating committee, and together they did an amazing job of running a fair and efficient election to choose Yorkton Melville's Conservative candidate of record to run in the next federal election. I am so pleased to congratulate Nelson Pohl on winning the contest. The depth of support I've received over the past 4 elections has been both sobering and affirming. Sobering in light of the overwhelming hardships imposed on the lives of those I represent, the economic sabotage and unethical regressive overreach of the Carney-Trudeau government continues to deeply affect Canadians. Yet, it has also been affirming. Over the past 10 years and counting, I have witnessed and shared in a deep, prevailing, and confident hope. This hope is rooted in the sound common sense, knowledge, wisdom, and relationship building that flows from the steadfast pillars of faith, freedom, and family that our communities hold dear. Change will come, and it will be worth the struggle and the wait. I want to express my sincere gratitude to the leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition, the Honorable Pierre Poilievre. He has led with conviction and determination, but also with the humility of a servant leader who understands that public office is about service to others, not self. I have every confidence that millions more Canadians will come to know the character and resolve I have seen and appreciated personally, and that they will choose him to be the next Prime Minister of Canada. To the veterans of the Canadian Armed Forces and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, thank you for your acceptance and your patience with me, a civilian. You deserve so much more than we can and must give. I am incredibly grateful to my professional, capable, and passionate staff, both past and present, on Parliament Hill and in the constituency. I know they are the very best because of the constant positive feedback I receive. I simply could not do justice to my responsibilities without them. I am beyond grateful for the support of my husband and best friend. He is always by my side in spirit when we are apart, and more often than not, deeply engaged as we choose to do life together in every way, every day. To our precious 3, their amazing spouses, and our 10 incredible grandchildren, our gifts from God, please know that although it may be hard to fully understand at times, you are the reason I served Canada in this way. Honored and grateful, Kathy Wagenthal. Ladies and gentlemen, Member of Parliament Kathy Wagenthal resigning her seat, so this will be essentially the last few days for her in Parliament. Now, Kathy has served with conviction. She has served with integrity, and she's kept her values very close to her chest and lived by them as far as we can see. She has actually served to bring forth legislation that was demonized by the Liberals to just try to add aggravating sentences for people that, injure women that are pregnant and cause trauma to them. And this legislation was actually brought forth from people in her constituency that actually they are pro-choice. So the demonization that she received from the Liberals and the left over this bill is frankly reprehensible. But she faced it with grace, with strength, and she faced it with the conviction that essentially got her to Parliament in the first place. She also understands that the leader is the leader until he's no longer the leader. Meaning, Pierre Poilievre was voted in by the delegates from the Conservative Party back in 2022 as the leader of the opposition, and reaffirmed this past January at the Conservative Convention. And she has stood up to defend him every step of the way, including back when this ridiculous story came out from the interview that we'd aired with him back in the fall. This was Kevin Lamoureux coming after her about it, and this is what she said.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, one of the discussions that we've had a great deal about inside the chamber is in regards to our RCMP. The leaders of the official opposition making a profound statement derogatory towards the RCMP by saying that the management is despicable. And I'm wondering if the member opposite supports her leader's comments, or does she believe, as a vast majority of Canadians, that the RCMP is an institution that has worldwide respect, and the leader of the official opposition was wrong and he owes Canadians an apology? Does she believe in the integrity of the RCMP or her leader?
Honourable Member for Yorkton Melville.
I believe in both. And I just want to thank the federal government for bringing attention to this issue and raising the viewership of Northern Perspective. I encourage more people to go to that interview to see the full interview and the full statement that was made, and also Northern Perspective did a great job of rebuttal on this issue. I'm very proud of our RCMP, and I am very proud of the individuals that work so hard in my riding, and we will do all we can to improve their service. Thank you.
So we just want to give, a shout out back to Kathy Wagenthal, her staff, and all of the amazing people that make it possible for her as a member of Parliament to actually do what she does. And, we appreciate her acknowledging us on the House. That's a great honor for us. And it just shows that you have to stand against all of this gaslighting by the Liberal government. And it goes to show that the Liberal government are opportunists, because you don't see them coming out and defending the RCMP when it came to this prank show that the CBC was actually supporting. Where are they on this if they have such high regard for the RCMP? It's crickets. You don't hear them talking about it at all, and it's disgusting. And it just shows the blatant hypocrisy. So, Kathy, thank you for everything that you've done, and I'm sure that you will have lots of success as you move on in the next stage of your journey, and we hope to meet you in person and shake your hand one day as we move forward to try to bring more common sense to Ottawa with what will be eventually a Conservative government. Now, that's the bad news, folks. The bad news is we are losing a Conservative member of Parliament. The amazing thing is Kathy, like any good member of Parliament, like any good leader, because she is a leader in her community, she has thought about succession planning. She talked about it in the resignation letter that they've already gone through and selected who will be succeeding her, and that's amazing to hear. So that's the bad news. Here's the good news, because everyone is saying, okay, well, what now? Well, what now is that after she resigns, there will be a by-election that needs to be called. And how is that going to go? Does that mean that the Conservatives are going to lose a seat, the Liberals may gain one? Well, thankfully, that's not going to be the case. Because here's the polling right now on 338 for the riding of Yorkton Melville. So as of right now, the Conservatives are at 67% and the Liberals are at 16%. So there is a very, very, very high likelihood, and this would probably be a good one to bet on if you're a betting person, that the Conservatives will actually retain this seat in the case of a by-election coming up. But this also comes down to what we were saying about this Liberal government being a fragile majority. Lots of things happen over the course of Parliament. Look at how many by-elections we've already had right now. People retire, people move on, people are asked to leave, people voluntarily leave. This is the nature of what happens in Parliament when you have so many people in so many seats. But the good news is that this is going to give the Conservatives a win. Whenever this by-election happens, they're going to have, no doubt, a strong candidate standing up for Yorkton Melville, running a hard campaign, and that will be a win that we can celebrate across Canada as a new Conservative member of Parliament gets elected and moves to Ottawa to represent their riding. So, ladies and gentlemen, give a fond farewell, not goodbye, but just so long to Kathy Wagentall, who served her community and her riding and her constituents with a very high amount of integrity and conviction. And we wish you all the best.